Quite excited. First game of the day. We can hope for some bangers. Maybe some cool rat play like yesterday. All right. Some pretty stereotypical picks coming out here. Don't see a seer being picked up on GCU. That's pretty interesting. Ash coming out of UWYO. And Fuse and Bangalore on CSM and their squad. Looks like a Loba being picked up by Ohio State. This is our champ squad. This will be interesting. Very huge variety of characters coming out here today. Nandez actually coming out with the Horizon and Octane. A lot of mobility coming out of this squad.
Full assault team.
Yep, that's great. Typically, what we see and what I see in most scrims is it runs with a utility-based character, then a rotator, and then a zone or area denial. That's usually where it comes to it. Most recently, it's been Gibraltar, Valkyrie, and Caustic I've been seeing the most play as of recently. But it seems like, surprisingly, we're going to have a lot of teams spread out, except for this a little bit to the northern area. There's some clumping going on. Might lead to some early fights. We're going to hop in here with Nan. Oh, I am so bad with words.
Nanda's Nation.
Mendez. And I'm... Jeez, man. Speaking is hard. Don't let anyone ever tell you that. And English is my first language, and it's still hard. GCU over here in... Wow. Man, I am just having a brain fart today. Maybe I need to take some more vitamins or something. I don't know. It is... I forget what this place is called. And now I sound like I'm Southern. God damn it. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, whatever. There seemed, from last time we checked on the map, there were several teams here, or at least landing here, at least 2 or 3. I believe one may have gone to Ravens, which is a interesting landing spot that I've seen. Mostly because it lets people know that you're there, and a lot of people can, well, anyone in this area can hear if someone is doing a Ravens trial. It's interesting. It looks like HCC actually may have gotten a spot off on GCU over there, so they might be trying to go for a fight here or at least get some shots off.
They're pretty even with the armor. 2 blue and 1 white. While the
I
other
think
team has 1 purple and all white.
yeah, so pretty even when it comes to health. So we'll see how they take this fight. They see from far away, both teams have spotted each other. Looks like we're going to get a push up from HCC. Ping's coming down on the building. They might be trying to get some pushing here. I believe that was a seer.
Both teams have very nice scan agents. With the Seer on the other team and Bloodhound on this team.
Huge shots coming out, breaking Romeo instantly.
Romeo's down.
Mastiff, the Seer ult going to make it really hard to get any dodging
The other
away.
team
Huge shots on
punching
the
in.
cheeks. Huge massive shots coming out though. Gets downed unfortunately. Thermite's going to block the vision of GCU for a second there, but looks like they're going to be able to clean up this fight with 3 people still up. It appears that HCC might get away with this. Winter Bandit seems to have been able to run all the way away, but he gets found out. GCU takes the first team of the game and first kill points of this scrim. That being said, it looks like they did lose their Octane. They're going to have to run away fast and hopefully get a res off before the zone closes, or they might just try and run this as a duo. I don't think that's a smart idea, but we'll see.
It's only ring 1. It shouldn't be that bad.
Some interesting pings coming over here to trials, though. It appears
Look,
that
it's the
OSU...
OSU white team is here.
Oh, is getting pushed from the back by the WSU regulators. Huge shots onto this Gibraltar, making him Phoenix kit. Some whiffs coming out with the Volt. Oh my gosh, he's got to be at least 30 HP. Unfortunately, it looks like your favorite team may have, unfortunately, lost a member, and they're actually running towards the team that was in trials. Lean and May, actually, they're able to rotate out so that they don't get pinched. And we have the duo squad coming out here by GCU, not able to get that resurrect off. I think they were trying to get some more loot from trials before they were able to do anything. That being said, a WSU in a pretty compromising position, choosing to rotate around the full mountain instead of trying to contest the team in trials. Without a scan operator like the likes of Bloodhound or Seer, unfortunately, it seems like this team hasn't been able to figure out that it is only a duo squad sitting in trials, or on top of trials now.
They do have a Valkyrie on that team, and if the Valkyrie does have ultimate up, so if the Valkyrie ever chooses to use the ultimate, she'll be able to scan people on the ground, which is also very nice.
Yes, and fortunately for them, because they have the Valkyrie, they can pick and choose where they would like to rotate when they need to rotate because of just the usefulness of the Valkyrie ult. Now we're seeing very much a RIT as we've seen them play before. We've got a Ashe coming out here. Very useful. Allowed to see on the map at least where death boxes are. Teams you get a general idea where people are. Octane for the rotates, and very much the Bloodhound for the scanning. Unfortunately, it appears that they don't have a Gibraltar, which in later circles can cause some unfortunate and end game bubble play misplays because you have no real safe way to push out towards the end game. But it doesn't seem to really matter in this case. As of right now, there are still 19 squads left, and the first zone is going to be closing here soon. Fight breaking out from the Pickle team. I don't know who that is. Looks like SJSU may have had a disconnect with one of their players and is currently playing this as a duo squad. UWYO is coming with full purple armors, triple takes in hand, trying to contest for this building up in just to the left of Epicenter. Huge fighting. We can see that the zone is going to be pulling towards that center lava fissure area. So a lot of these teams that are in Fragment and Epicenter are going to have to fight or rotate here once they find out where this zone is, which they should be finding out rather quickly. Some pings coming down. They obviously were able to spot that that team was rotating out, but they do get the Valkyrie ult in order to rotate away from these two teams that seem to be gatekeeping them. Some awesome climbing ability there from Noodles, being able to get on top of this building. Actually dropping the bubble for a safe scan to get a better idea of where the zone is. Meanwhile, we go back over to the fighting over here. Looks like they're taking some pot shots. Meanwhile, in the kill feed, Maple was taken down and thirsted, it appears, with the Sentinel, possibly from long range. OSU White coming here. WSU seems to think that they're going to be pushed and maybe bunkering for the time being, possibly until that Valkyrie ult comes up. Ah, I like the team name. Serb, Vibe, and Noodles. They take the first part of their names and have made a team name out of it. That's great. Looks like they're getting some pings down, trying to see if they can figure out. They're going to use the Valkyrie ult to close the distance here.
They picked up a team right below them.
Fortunately for them, because of this open area, they'll be able to spot at the several teams that are currently sitting on the edge of those zones. Actually, the next zone they got, they can actually tell that where it is pulling towards the center, just outside of what used to be train station, at least. The train was deleted a long time ago. Good shots from BGC here. Actually is able to down Decay. Oh, the Octane jump out able to possibly save him here. UWIO still sitting pretty healthily, though they may be running out of some medication here. Barton Blue is going to actually get Decay up before they rotate. It appears they're trying to play the edge of zone here over in, I believe this is staging, or at least trying to fight whoever seems to be here, which is Nadez, which unfortunately we saw it lost a teammate earlier this game. Barton Blue, without the scanning operators, they do not know that there's actually only 2 people in there, so they're going to play it safe and decide to pull off and try and make it to the high ground over on Bridge. Good plays, getting good shots. We've got a lot of teams that still have yet to rotate in. Could cause some fighting. Mexican Waffle getting some shots off. Tyrannus Clover lining up the shot. Unfortunately gets the whiff. Nandas actually were able to res Maple here, but for the trade-off of their Wraith. They actually seem to be being pushed by 2 sides. Some pretty good car action right there. Unfortunately, with the heavy bullets, may have been a little bit too much recoil than they were expecting. Especially for this, for SMGs, recoil has not really been a thing in this game. Looks like Barton Blue is living their last legs with Tyrannus Clover being the last one up. With that Sentinel flatline, taking some shots, huge shots with the flatline, only taking a little damage.
He's making great use of that cover.
That's a very good head glitch that they seem to have found, but UWIO seems that they're not gonna... Ooh. What just... Oh my god. That box went flying. Unfortunately, it looks like they... Shobi whiffed a couple shots there on a standing still target, but we won't talk about that. It appears that we've got a lot of teams making their way towards this northern area on the zone. A charge rifle coming out on this from Zenigma. Baylord seems to be fully kitted when it comes to this charge rifle, where it only takes 2 items, but those 2 items can make a lot of difference when it comes to this charge. LMU Lions are actually the team that was taking the damage on that end, but seems to have decided to try and pull out before they get pushed. WSU regulators sitting with Caustic inside this countdown building, making this very hard for many teams to push. I believe they can hear the fact that there's someone nearby, which they are correct. There are actually 2 different teams nearby, one that's, I believe, is a solo and a duo. Meanwhile, Fuse being brought out here by the CSM Benchwarmers. My goodness gracious, that damage from, I believe that was an Arc Star. Cyber just does not care. He's going to keep pushing out. Oh, UHM, unfortunately, looks like they're going to go down unless... Yes, it does seem like they went down. Unfortunately, 2v3, but they did a heck of a lot of damage. Possible third party could come in here on the WSM. Meanwhile, over in Countdown, pushing onto the two-man squad. Unfortunately, it appears that they weren't ready for the sheer amount of aim coming out of this two-man squad. I believe it is a 1v2, but the bubble res is going to come out with the Gibraltar ult to prevent them from taking any more damage from Panda R. Panda R probably making the biggest decision to leave his teammate and attempt to rat it out for placement points. 13 squads in this round 3 closing zone. It's going to get very hard to rat in this zone. There is a lot of open space, and there is a lot of teams with sniper rifles.
He managed to pick up his Sears banner, so there's a possible chance he could res one of his teammates.
At least one. Here's hopeful. Holding this choke point inside of the vault area. I'm pretty sure they could get that res. Not while there's shots coming out. Where is it? Oh my goodness gracious. Actually gets the long range shot to get the thirst on that on their teammate. Gibraltar hovering this ult here for this bubble. As soon as it drops, he's going to yeet that thing all the way over there. There is a team underneath. Oh my gosh, huge shots coming out of the UHM. I believe that was... I couldn't really tell. That looked like a rampage and possibly some sort of volt coming out and team shotting the Gibraltar. UHM is actually going to look like they're going to try and rotate away. LMU actually do get the res on Joe Mama, preventing them from getting... Oh, no, they are getting zip-lined on by UWI. Huge shots with the flatline hip fire, shredding PK-40! You know, back in the good old days, that would be at least 200 damage. 28 damage from that long range. That's a shotgun, by the way. That's incredibly insane. 5 kills. Kill leader with UWYO over here on Nebula. Actually gonna take more shots. Ooh, almost dropped there and landed on top of the Bloodhound. They might be looking for some health resets. Meanwhile, they're gonna try and clean up this rat. But they're still getting harassed by Allure over there. I believe they're... I'm not sure if they're on the same team. I think they are. Huge shots. Oh my gosh, the down out of the air. This is 100% going to be pushed by UWIO. Thankfully, they have Valkyrie, because if they do want to move, they can take it. We're actually just going to take the bounce pad and try and go for the first full kill. 66 with the flatline. And Nebula now sitting with 6 or 7 kills now. WSU had to push out of their spot with the caustic. This is unfortunately where defensive characters aren't necessarily the best, because unfortunately they have little to no offensive capability outside of the ult of Caustic. Does get picked immediately, so you can't really use it. Valkyrie rockets coming in to zone them off. Oh my goodness,
from all
in every
angles.
direction. That is a war flashback if I've ever seen it. Holy cow. Gibraltar ult's coming down on this dome. I believe the dome is going to fall before it's finished, though. Huge shots coming out of Alpha Lu here. They're going to get some kills. They're probably going to get some resets. And they're going to see what they can do about this corner. An alternator peacekeeper from Julian. That is absolutely terrifying, especially in close range combat. Especially with the bubble plays that you can do with Gibraltar. You can force people to fight close to you, shred their shields, pull out the Peacekeeper, and one-shot them. Survive and Noodles actually were in this building for the longest time, and are going to continue to play this little car and try and prevent anyone from getting the center cover. Unfortunately for them, it appears that all the teams are looking there and are breaking the caustic barrels. EMP coming out, break shields. Possible push coming. I think it was just to try and clear traps. Little did they know, they actually popped all the gas with the grenade that they threw in. Huge flatline shots coming out of Sir Willie. Meanwhile, getting thermited. This could be a quick push on their behinds. Kraber is actually in play from Noodles. Gets the down. They're actually going to go to try and fight this. Slide canceling all their way to victory. They actually get the team wipe here. Beautiful play, action. Kraber gets the shot, and look at that. They're able to push it in, and they probably won't lose their spot either. Good plays coming out of Survive Noodles. Oh. Looks like Twilight and Lord Kage are going to get finished up by UWYO. Meanwhile, Nebula gets shredded by Vibe's Alternator. He really just vibe checked him right there, and he failed. Kraber coming out with 4 bullets remaining. Unfortunate whiff onto the Gibraltar. 3 shots. Let's see if they can make this count. Huge shot. Actually gets the finish on there. 3 squads remaining. 2 shots in this Kraber. Theoretically, if they all line up, he can kill every single person with this Kraber. While unlikely, it's possible. This is interesting. Oh my goodness. Panda R sitting in the corner. Rat gameplay. Preventing. This might be huge. He's got third. He hasn't been spotted. They haven't seen him. This is huge. Just play like a rat. Sit there. Don't get spotted. Oh my gosh.
He also has a Havoc, which is a very interesting gun. I personally do not like the Havoc because of the choke in the beginning, but...
Yes, the wind up on that gun does make it a little unfortunate and not the best thing. He's staring right at them. He's actually going to play slow right beside them. Goodness, just walk up next to them. Be one of their team. Oh my goodness gracious. Might go for the kill. Oh my goodness, huge shots with the Havoc. He's got the turbocharger, so it negates that problematic that you talked about with the Havoc. He's gonna go for the thirst to confirm the kill. Make sure that his team gets those points. 2v1v3.
Able to armor swap here.
Huge shots though. Looks like Survive Noodles, they're actually getting checked by the other team.
This rat might be able to win.
I don't know about win, but he certainly got second place in a kill.
He cracked one of them.
Cracked one with the Havoc pushing in. Huge shots. Oh, unfortunately, he just can't take 3 guns at the same time. But huge plays. Impressive gameplay. There you have it, folks. Julian Jitsu, Button Belly, and Appaloosa win that round of our scrim games here. As you did see, the last teams that were alive were the Gibraltar Caustic teams that were able to do both of those things. Zone them off. I don't believe one of them was Caustic. I believe it was Loba, Valkyrie, and Gibraltar. But still being able to push people off with Gibraltar ults, being able to aggressively bubble to get those fights and separate people. And as we're getting into this character selection, I really do want to see more of these characters that are less abnormal, I would say. Like, for instance, Fuse. While he is a very fun character personally, and I do enjoy him played, his ultimate is kind of, for lack of a better term, pretty meh. It's great, you can, if you land someone in the center, you know they're there, there's fire and all that stuff, but you can just kind of slide jump out of it and not take enough damage for where you should be worried unless you got damaged in. A rather interesting drop lineup is going to open up the map pretty much entirely. You can make it from anywhere with this drop zone. Lava Siphon being the hot zone, which in the most recent patches, the hot zone has been changed. Instead of a guaranteed gold, it just has an increase of a loot pool. That being said, the increase of a loot pool on a very good loot zone like Lava Siphon could bring out multiple purples, multiple purple armors, gold, and it looks like it's not even going to be contested, which is insane. Looks like so far we don't have any teams landing on top of each other. That being said, Climatizer might get several people. Now we're going to hop in with nades as they loot around. Actually, picking shots. I don't know if that was at something or shooting a bot or something. I'm not entirely sure. So as we get into these zones and these higher, a lot of play comes down to the small, minute details you make as you rotate throughout the map. Apex, while it is an FPS and a battle royale, it differs itself with the abilities and the utility that every character has. You have to really separate yourself with other teams by how you use your utility. Being able to save your ults for the perfect moment and not wasting it just to try and get a kill or secure a kill is a huge factor in how teams play. If you don't, for instance, have a Gibraltar, like nades right now, they do not have a Gibraltar, so they don't have the ability to throw up bubbles to guarantee reses, or throw up bubbles to aggressively push or loot up to get the armor swaps to prevent poking and third partying. You have to play a completely different way. You have to sit there and play a little slower, maybe try and get to the first rotate, bunker up, and not really take fights or possibly take longer range fights so that you can get your armors up and have the armor advantage when fighting. But we will see what they decide to do as it comes down here. Grenades being thrown. A seer comes out of full scan here with Team 10. Looks like they might be trying to go for a push, just throwing more nades, just hucking those bad boys up there, hoping to get a down or some armor. Heartbeat sensor coming out from GCU Black here, able to find out that there are definitely people here. A bounce pad ready to go in case they want to back up. Ooh, nade being chucked. I cannot speak. Apparently that grenade bounced off the arm shield of the Gibraltar. I didn't even know that was a thing. But it looks like GCU is going to be able to get the kills here. Unfortunately for HCC, it looks like their game is going to be cut a little short. Some bad climbing from SJSU. Also looks like they have a duo squad right now. It's going to make it hard for them to push up, but the Seer ultimate is actually going to prevent them from pushing. Though with the movement coming out, I believe they do see him. Huge shots with the L-Star, gets the down. Now it is a 3v1 situation with white armor. And that, unfortunately, is going to spell the end for their run. 18 squads. GCU is going to be looking for other teams, but thankfully for them, they don't actually have anyone pushing up. It appears that we might have some contention over in this Fragment West area for potentially these high ground spots. Unnecessarily, they may not know where the zone is, but you could see that it was pulling... I don't remember. Man, I have short-term memory loss. Heck yeah. But... wow, this is some pretty aggressive stuff. It looks like Joe Mama is getting some downs. Sir Willie is also trading them back. RIT is getting thirsted, actually. In the kill feed. CSN bench warmer, taking shots, having to heal up. Sir Willie actually gets the finishing kill on a team. Huge damage. The Fuse Bangalore comp is a little confusing to me. Unfortunately, when it comes to Bangalore and any smoke character, the gripe I have the most with them is the fact that there is an item in the game that literally just ignores your utility, which unfortunately for them is also in the crafting machine right now. So it's pretty guaranteed that there is going to be teams with it. But I don't... a scan comes out and they actually get to see that they are Valking away. A little too late on that scan, but good news for OSU is that they can continue to loot up, not really have to worry, at least for now, about a team pushing them.
Let's go over here.
This is some good teams, good gameplay. So I believe this is the team that you are rooting for, is it not, Celine? Stacy. Frick me. I am... My brain.
It's okay. But yeah, this is my team, and this is also, I don't know about the other team, but a full woman and non-binary team.
It's a little rare when it comes into the gaming scene, at least from what I understand. That being said, I believe it was Valorant who has introduced a full woman cup. I don't really know if
Yep.
there's many other esports that actually are doing that right now, which is quite cool that we're starting to get a little bit more inclusive in the esports scene. As, you know, games are supposed to be fun for everybody and not just the select few or competitive for everybody. So we're sitting here with RAT Brown. Unfortunately, it looks like they did lose their Valkyrie. So they lost a huge amount of rotate potential. So they're trying to get a building or something so that they can make it to this zone and make it to these final circles. But unfortunately, they're going to probably have to either read the zone just by thoughts, or they're going to get hurt. That is a Digi-Threat 10 times charge rifle. That is disgusting. That thing right there can melt people's shields like nobody's business. It has a very much easy to hit weapon because it is hit scan. I do remember when they first released it and everybody used that thing before it got changed a bit. Oh, he's shooting at an Octane jump pad. That's actually huge. A lot of people don't realize that those Octane pads are destructible, and I've had some times where I've used enemies' jump pads to actually close in on them, and it's caused some pretty sad boy gaming hours. Huge shots from Julian. Oh my goodness, breaking, I believe, 2 people with that charge rifle. I believe there are, this appears to be 3 teams. The dome shield whiffs, not guaranteeing the safe scans, but it looks like they're going to let them go and not contest this, as they can tell that the other Gibraltar is staring at them with a charge rifle. Looks like a team is trying to push underneath. They actually get the scan off and can tell that's where they are. They're throwing nades to try and break the door. I believe it missed, unfortunately. Meaning it is really hard to break down this door without getting shot by another team. We're getting pings to, looks like their OSU is going to fall back, actually. They're not going to take this fight. They recognize that there's another team probably sitting around, and they should probably go for high ground. Shots coming out on OSU. Not enough to down, but a little bit of harassment. Gonna force them to pop themselves. Looks like they might be running directly into this team, and I don't know they know it. I don't think either of these teams know it. L-Star coming out. Unfortunately, it is nerfed, so it doesn't have basketball-sized shots anymore. Scan comes out. They do find out there's teams sitting inside this building. Actually, ooh, OSU, huge shots onto the Wraith. It gets the get-out-of-jail-free card, unfortunately. Just gonna back up and reset and hopefully not get pushed by another team. This building that they are sitting in, unfortunately, is not in zone. So as we push out here with MST Gold, looks like they're going to be trying to get these buildings on the edge. Or at least trying to make their way through to try and possibly move around. Some fighting coming out with the triple take. Dome is being forced out, and it looks like they're going to be falling back. Seeming to get what they wanted. Well, maybe not. Gibraltar all coming in. Twilight's going in. He unfortunately overcommits. Gets EVA'd to death. And Lord Kage is getting hit by the Gibraltar all. They managed to get the kills on the team. Unfortunately, losing their teammate in in the process, but they do have some armor, some meds to swap off from. Might be trying to get this res, possibly. A little bit of a questionable push there with the Gibraltar ult coming down and the Dome Shield dropping, but netted some kills, netted hopefully a higher placement, but we'll see what happens as it later goes on. As we can see, OSU is actually... oh, your Celine, unfortunately, gets dropped and I believe thirsted. So I believe they're down to a two-man team. Man, math is not my strong suit. Jeez Louise. Right. Amber currently inspecting the danger sign, I believe, on this wall.
Let's go this way.
Making sure that they're all, you know, within dress code, not violating it. But realistically, probably pinging on maps, trying to figure out where they can go. They do have information on the zone, which I believe is pulling outside of Trials, just to the west side of it. At least what that's what it looks like. Ooh, WSU actually running into a team. Shots coming on from top of Trials. Unfortunately, it looks like the wait, is that their Gibraltar that accidentally dropped? It could have been. So the interesting thing about holding on top of Trials like this is, especially with the caustic, you can actually cover all the angles that has people dropping in. One interesting thing that I've seen people do, though, is they actually Valkyrie and land in that little section where it jumps out off the top, and you can actually rotate through there and play that. Which, kind of a big brain maneuver, but it's also quite risky, because if something is thrown, it looks like a Horizon ult coming out here, going to finish uncomprehensible. Oh my goodness gracious, rampage shots coming out from, I believe, a third party.
On your feet, darling. Plenty of fight left in you.
Sonar detected and a Gibraltar ult dropped to try and get this thirst, or at least get another down. Looks like Nandez is going to rotate away, sacrificing, unfortunately, their Octane. We're going to get the thirst on there. Joe Mama getting a kill in the feed as we look away. I don't know if Nandez knows that there's a team sitting on top of Trials. Well, they do now, as it rips Koru a new one. They're fortunately going to be able to make it into Trials. They're going to caustic up at least one door for now. And they're probably going to have to play inside of this little bunker-ish area to try and keep them from getting pushed. Fortunately for them, those doors, unlike the doors in most buildings, are unbreakable, which provides it so that if someone is to push, they will run into that caustic gas, which is, as people stand in it, very damaging. It hurts. I mean, if you've ever tried to breathe in smoke before, it's much worse when it's a chemical warfare. But as you see, it looks like teams are starting to just take some shots. There's a lot of cover in this zone, so I'm expecting to see a lot more squads, even in the 4th zone. But it looks like we might be getting some fighting a lot over in Skyhook. A lot of teams contesting for these buildings, hoping that they can at least get or sit on top of one of these floors to prevent themselves from being pushed. UHM looking to, I believe, gatekeep anyone from their back so that they can either slow rotate in or prevent people from, or even having to worry about people sitting behind them. Fortunately for them, I don't believe there's actually anybody behind them. So they're going to be happy about that. Zenigma is going to sit inside this building over here in Skyhook, along with probably like 6 other teams rotating into Skyhook currently. Fight coming out. Bunny Rabbits, that's your team. Currently fighting actually bleeds out Lord Kage in there, in that group. Bloodhound ult being popped just for the extra scans actually spots the fact that they tried to grab this building. Arcstar's coming in, zoning off. Respin is low HP, but And it doesn't seem like any of those grenades connected. They might be having to sit here with another team on top of them. Playing some vertical play here with MSD Gold. I believe that was a Ashe ult onto the balcony, which allowed them to rotate in and grab this floor. That is some huge play. Unfortunately for them, the zone does not pull to them, so they're going to have a rough time rotating to this Trials ending. That being said, it might be a little less rough considering Ashe can now just create a portal and not have to worry about really much of anything. As long as there's line of sight, they can create a pretty good thing. GCU also sitting here inside another building. If you look at the map, there is quite a few... Actually, there is a team rotating behind... I forget which team that was, but they were fortunate. MSD got really aggressive from Shine here in this bubble fight. Ooh, huge shot from the PK to down Baylord Yanama, but there's one teammate still up. Ooh, had to reload there. Running out of bullets. Baylor, you gotta clutch this. Huge shots, but not enough to get the downs. Enigma's gonna get the res and the kill leader title for Respin here with 3 kills. A little bit lower than our last game. Grenades coming out from Team 11, trying to zone off, I believe, a team, which it appears that they did drop. Barton Blue, 1 HP inside of the Gibraltar ult. Actually is sitting right, I believe, underneath a team. Zone's pushing away. Team 11's trying to actually keep away. Ooh, good Wraith Q. Gets them out of there. Prevents any more damage, and they can get at least one side of the zone. Meanwhile, I believe the other side of Trials is being contested by 2 different teams. Our duo squad that's sitting inside the vault. GCU is currently getting pushed. The ring is downing more people and killing them. Holy cow, GCU is in trouble. Low HP, nowhere to go. Actually throws the shuriken tether umbilical cord thing. There's someone, goes 3 arms up. Might be trying to bait a res. Baits the res. Good shots coming out of the R99. Good armor swap. Huge shots! Melee for the finish! 1 HP Panda R gets the kill. Actually does get the res as well. So there's going to be, unfortunately, only 2 people surviving on that team. Spitfire is actually sitting here in the hands of Noodles. This team was, I would consider, a pretty favorable team considering they're holding this high ground. Huge shots with the flat line. Sitting on top of this Trials is going to make it very hard for any team to contest them, depending on where everything goes. It appears Wraith is trying to portal to try and get loot. I don't believe they know that there's a team actually still sitting there. Noodles is taking an aggressive angle with this or no, this is Sir Willy. I'm sorry, my mistake. Taking an aggressive angle with this triple take. Huge shots. I don't know why they took this thing out of red care package. Holy cow. Ouch. 63 damage, and that wasn't even a headshot. Thankfully, they can actually rotate underneath and they won't get a line of sight, but they will spot the fact that bullets are being flung towards another squad. 2 teams are actually shooting. Another squad playing underneath. Buckeye Gaming playing to the right here. Sees the shots. Actually, Appaloosa getting some good damage off. He's going to have to heal. Micro drones detecting him. Not really doing much. The ring is actually killing so many people. What just happened? A bad rotate possible caller may have killed the team. Sir Willy taking shots with a triple take, gets to destroy some people. GCU currently inside Trials, getting the finishing kill. Actually getting, I guess, jump scared by a Valkyrie there. Don't think they knew they were there. Unfortunately, it looks like GCU Panda are gonna die. Mexican Waffle and Cyberbird, CSM's Benchwarmers, I believe, are gonna have some pretty decent loot, at least for now. It looks like Lobo ult's coming out to remove it. Nandez, like, they have been sitting inside of that room this entire time. Cossack ult might be thrown here, but he's going to take some shots unless he can drop it. He's actually just going to huck these barrels down to prevent anyone from standing there. Allure gonna get a kill onto 16-9A look. While we're looking away, R3 one shots, looking out. Damage is actually coming down onto that team underneath with the caustic barrels. Some huge climbing over here by Survive Noodles team. Buckeye Gaming, our Ohio State team, is going to be vibing on the low ground, sitting inside barrels, trying to prevent themselves from being hit. Huge Valkyrie rockets. Unfortunately, no follow-up. Allure Vice is actually going to take down Dojo and Eternal. Caustic Gas actually kills Allure Vice as well. They actually dropped down on this team. They gave up high ground. Let's see if that's a mistake on their end. CSM. Actually, it may not be. Noodles is just on fire right now with this Spitfire. Huge shots being traded back and forth here. This is where the Gibraltar bubble and caustic gas gets really terrifying. When this zone starts to close and this caustic gas chokes here off and they can just sit in a bubble, things get real wild. It appears that there doesn't seem to be any big meds on the side of Survive Noodles. You can actually see that I believe this is a 3v3v2 with the team sitting on the inside probably going to have to be the last team that moves. It's actually going to be pulling the zone out into the open. This might come down to who has ults and who has the most cover at the end. Unfortunately, this door does not open unless someone runs up to it, which, unfortunately, they may be the last thing. Oh! A little bit of miscommunication, possibly. A caustic ult being thrown. Actually, they're full sending it on this team. Mendez are full sending. Caustic gas is actually going to be dropped, but unfortunately, caustic do caustic. Caustic doesn't do anything to other caustics because they have a gas mask. Ooh, huge shots from Julian here. Buckeye Gaming getting some huge damage. This is an absolute mayhem. Buckeye standing in caustic gas. Survive Noodles just does not care. He's a caustic himself. And Survive Noodles is going to sit here and take the W with a caustic gas pretty much clutch, denying any room for anyone to play. That's a impressive play and understanding on how this game is played at the end circles. Beautiful work. I think we're gonna take a quick look at the leaderboard here, and we're gonna get some information on how that game went. Survive Noodles, that team sitting there with a solid and impressive 11 kills and a first place, racking up some points. LMU's Lions actually having a 9-kill game in 5th. Pretty impressive. OSU White making it all the way to 9th, I believe, there. GCU also coming out with a serious amount of kills. Some pretty distributed kills. It's quite impressive. Tournaments right now, you actually have to win the last game on match point in order to win. And that means being able to adapt throughout a lobby is actually very important. If you are seeing a lot of caustics, a lot of Gibraltars, or a lot of this, that, or the other, and being able to play around it is a must. And I want to see some adaptability coming out of these teams instead of just forcing it onto whatever comp that they believe is the best at the time. That being said, it is a scrim, so we'll see how it goes. You don't really know until you know what happens. What I see, it seems like pretty normal things. OSU White coming out with the Bangalore this time. Interesting. Haven't really seen too much of that. Another Bangalore on the CSM Benchwarmers. Some more smokes coming out. I believe there was a rampart somewhere. I believe I saw that in there. Yeah, right there. A rampart coming out. Now, for those of you who don't know, rampart was changed here recently to have a mobile minigun. very interesting combination you can do is you can slap down that bounce pad with Octane and send her sliding into it with her minigun up, and you become an AC-130, and it's awesome. I love seeing that. Unfortunately, I don't think I've ever had it work, but it's cool, and that's all that we care about. 3 teams in Skyhook. Jeez, that is a lot of people. Overlook also being contested. That's interesting. I'd never really see a lot of contestant in Overlook. I don't think there's a lot of loot when it comes to Overlook. Being set again, the hot zone is just being left open again. Only one team landing there. Quite surprising. It's the same hot zone this time. Looks like we're actually having a team's fights in Thermal Station also. As we get through this, no one has actually picked up a beacon yet. I'm quite surprised. Oh, it's OSU White is actually one of the teams over here. I thought I saw someone drop there for a second. That might have just been a visual, but rampage shots coming out from the MSU. They actually got purple and blue armor as opposed to the, I believe, 1 blue, 1 white on the side of OSU. Pushing coming out. They're actually the split. Good shots with the Havoc. Unfortunately, that's going to spell the end of Bunny's, well, run in the game. I believe Celine is also going to be taking some shots. He's going to have to try and pop a Phoenix. Nade's being tossed to try and zone off while this Phoenix is being popped. Looks like Uncomprehensible just does not care. He's going to full send it down there with the hip-firing Havoc. Loses his armor, but I believe breaks both of them. Rampage shots coming down. That is going to spell the end for Stacy's team, as I'm going to keep calling it. That's unfortunate. Being dropped on that early and just losing the, I would call it the loot pool differential, as purple and blue armors were on the side of WSU. That's just unfortunate. Another team actually dropped while we weren't looking. Not entirely sure who that was. But was it Lilac? Yeah, UHM Lilac dropping. That is unfortunate. No kill points. Looks like, oh, SJSU already has a person down. That's because they're running a duo. 3 kills on CSM, and WSU also having 3 kills. That's 3 points right off the rip. When it comes down to these middle of the team, oh, not middle of these team, middle games, when it comes to scrims, kills are very important. They separate the middle of the pack, the top of the pack, and unfortunately, if you're not getting at least 3 kills a game, in my opinion, you're going to be pretty far behind no matter what placement you're at. Because unfortunately, when it comes to this game, kills are just as important as placements, especially when it comes to these competitive zones. Being able to level up your armor is very important. HCC is sitting in this building fighting our duo team. I'm surprised that they haven't Bloodhound scanned to see how many people are there. SJSU actually knows that there's that many people there. Bunny hopping over some shots there. Oh my goodness. He's got some hops. He's bouncing all over the place. Looks like SJSU might be thinking better of pushing this team. Looks like they're going to try and run away. They might be running into GCU here. GCU is actually not going to take many shots. An R99 from this range, but a charge rifle. Good damage coming out from both squads. The charge rifle actually does down Gardiera. Jeez. I'm gonna have to start taking foreign language classes to pronounce everything. Jeez. Actually, a jump pad is gonna be thrown down to actually try and save Gardiera here. They are gonna try and push and go for the thirst. Oh my goodness gracious. The ult coming out from Seer Unfortunately, I don't think they know. It's just one dude. Ooh, 1 HP. Bleed out, and that is it. Kills actually... I believe there's a third party coming in here. Maple is getting some kills in the kill feed, though, as we are sitting here. Third party may not be coming out. Maybe have thought the best of it. Looks like they are just going to try and poke from building to building. R99 and a Mastiff. That is an interesting combination, especially when it comes to these long-range fights. Maple actually, I believe, just wiped an entire team by themselves. Holy cow. That is some huge skill. 16 squads. This is probably the smallest amount of people we've had so far when it comes to this first ring closing. It's quite impressive. Looks like another squad might be coming down here. Art actually gets it down with a flat line. Pushing in with the L-Star. PK gets dropped too. Actually goes for the scan and doesn't see him. First one. Polar actually now going to get spotted. Has to reload, and unfortunately that causes the death. That, unfortunately, is our Rampart team. Didn't get to set up. That's unfortunate. I wanted to see some clips. I wanted to see some flying machine guns. Looks like this is going to actually be a lava station ending, which, if you've ever played a lava station ending, they are nuts. I have seen some that actually just end straight up in lava, and fights are mayhem. Huge shots coming out from HCC, though. Looks like they're going to try and go for the aggressive play. Try and get some KP here. See them through the windows. Picking up some ammo on the way. Ooh, good shot. 61 on the purple armor. Bots R Us are looking... Well, they're not in shambles. They have a lot of armor and such, but they are going to set up here to try and hold them away from this zone. Good damage coming out. Probably going to cause a bubble being placed.
You do have a Crypto on their team, and I believe Crypto just used his ultimate for the EMP.
Did some damage, broke their shields, and did a slow. A-Look is taking some damage. Huge rampage shots.
Romeo seems to be sticking a Phoenix kit to heal off.
I think that was just a battery, maybe? I don't know. That went off really fast. Dome coming down, but they're getting burned because of the thermite that was already in it. They're actually going to Valk ult. Didn't pick up the banner either, so they're just going to commit to the fact that their team is dead and they do not care about them anymore. Romeo is actually taking some damage in that mid-air flight. UHM Amber actually, I believe, knows this team is sitting in this other building. Meanwhile, I believe there are like four teams in this southern lava station area. I don't believe they're next to each other. I think they're separated by the zip line. But ooh, good shots with that that non-scoped flatline. I've had a lot of different conversations with some people about the sights on the flatline and how people dislike it, but I personally think they're not that bad. They could be worse. They could be the car iron sights, which will literally cover like half of your screen, or the charge rifle. Jeez. Lanut actually taking down Lord Kage here. And Twilight. Lord Nut is going on a tear. Oh my gosh, pulls out the ultimate and doesn't survive, gets bodied. Oh my gosh, they're picking off left and right. This is 14 squads in zone 2. A lot of people are dying. Looks like Maple and Nades Nation are actually going to push up to try and get these kills on the 2 remaining members. Good shot from the 30-30 there. Actually, that is a purple 30-30, which I believe comes with the new hop-up, the double loader, I believe. Not entirely sure. Haven't really seen those weapons too often. I believe those are from the Rampart section of the map. The
Horizon has a golden R99 with pretty decked out.
That is terrifying. I don't think anyone has to say anything other than that's terrifying. The R99 has been undoubtedly one of the most consistent guns through Apex Legends in the just sheer versatility it has and the damage it can do. Its high rate of fire makes it perfect for short-range engagements. Its hip fire is actually pretty crisp, but I do argue that the car's hip fire is tighter. Now, you can argue with me about that, and be my guest. You can argue with me. I'm probably not going to ever say that I'm wrong, but huge shots coming out of the Horizon. Very interesting play with the Horizon is that you can do exactly what just happened at the Lanut. You can just sit on top of that gravity well and strafe back and forth and get a pseudo-temporary height advantage on teams. Very good plays. Looks like with the zone closing, we'll be finding out here soon about... Wow, he has no fear. Just sitting on that box and taking... Well, people take shots at him. UHM is going to sit in this building. They actually found out where the zone is, and it appears that it is at least sitting with them for now. Very good. They do have a team pushing. A team of 3. I've been told that the zone actually ends at those 2 buildings, in between them, which... That's great for these 2 teams. Thermite actually banks off the wall and almost bonks Noodles in the face. That could have been bad. Maybe we get another ricochet with the arm shield. Huge PK shot. Bubble being dropped. It looks like they might be trying to go for a push. Thinking better of it and actually just not going to let themselves take too much damage. Potentially to try and prevent this third party that is just sitting behind them. Down start flying, that is definitely a sign for teams to just full send it on you, which is very terrifying. And especially with this Horizon, they don't even have to walk through those doors. They can try and get on top of you and then come down through these stairs. But unfortunately for the third party, no downs actually occur. So no real reason for them to push. Valkyrie gets aggressive, keeps throwing nades. A lot of utility in being dumped here for not much happening. UHM seems to be getting into an engagement here on these 2 buildings. With HCC, a 2 squad right now. We saw them earlier leave their Bloodhound for dead because, well, they kind of had to. Fortunately, I do not believe that these teams... Ooh, huge flank. Unfortunately, you had a Mastiff pulled out. That's a shotgun. Still incredibly did 33 damage. But 44 there on the Gibraltar's shield is going to make him pop several batteries. Or several cells, at least. A grenade being blocked by the Gibby Dome. That's perfect. Do not believe there is a push coming out. They may be trying to at least get utility and such. Gibraltar Dome actually does get popped. This might be... Oh my goodness, sir really gets a flatline kill. This is definitely a potential push. Armor being broken off of the Bloodhound. 1 HP. Mastiff's coming out. Huge shots from Sir Willie and that nasty masty. Now let's see if the third party decides to come out. I do believe that they are. The zone does get picked up by the... Crypto. That's his name. I don't see him that often. I don't remember. Crypto does have the advantage of being able to fly around with those drones to know where teams are and being able to get these zones pretty safe. Actually, a huge grenade on these boxes force I believe that was a rat out of hiding. And HCC gets another point with 10 squads left. Ooh, that zone is scary. Gibraltar ult coming down is actually going to zone UHM inside the building. I believe a team was actually going to push them, but the Gibraltar ult managed to get them off. Big damage. This zone is looking scary. That is a lot of lava in that zone. Good hipfire shots. Baylor going down, and MST also going down. Gibishin being deployed to just secure loot and prevent possible third party or sight lines. Valkyrie ult being expended to try and get to this other side of the map. Shots coming out. I believe they may be landing directly on a rat. No, they split up and they're heading to this. I don't know if they went underneath or on top of the second area of the zip line that is closest to, as you can see, the four teams that are in that area. It looks like one team is in the tunnel, meanwhile one's above, and it looks like a possible team might be trying to contest for this. I would, for lack of a better term, an L building. And, alright, sitting in that 30-30 in the hands of Nandez. One of my most favorite guns, though very underrated. Cool thing about the 30-30, when it has the top-up, it does have the shatter caps, which allows it to be a shotgun-esque fighting tool, which allows you to actually have a pretty useful marksman rifle when it comes to close range. One of the biggest gripes that a lot of people have about marksman rifles, as opposed to, like, in general, when it came to the G7, is the hip fire was terrible, the rate of fire was terrible because of that, because they're marksman rifles, and so you're basically taking a fight with one gun when it comes to close range. That being said, the triple take and the 30-30 actually have the ability to use close range, as we actually are going into a fight. Horizon is just sending people left and right. That huge shot. Survive Noodles just don't care. He's full sending it. He's meleeing with such confidence onto this poor Octane. Gets the kill, gets the resets. They are red armor full team getting their meds off. I don't know if a third party's coming. Huge shots from every direction for this zone. This zone open is out in the open in this next section. There, I believe, are some bins and such to prevent that. Here comes the crypto ult to at least force more healing. Not much else going to be done with it. Not sure why that wasn't shot earlier. Could just be the pressure. Arc stars being thrown. Huge damage. These bins are your saving grace. HCC making it to top 5 with their duo. Quite impressive. It appears there is only a zipline to rotate these two teams. And unfortunately, that is really bad for Romeo. Going down there is going to force his teammate to just try and rat it out and get some points. That way. They are thirsting this man like no tomorrow. It appears that the kill leader is on that team with 5 kills. UHM. Good shots with the L-Star. 4 bullets left in that gun. I think they're looking for a possible swap here. Yeah, the EV8 being swapped out. Another good thing about the car is most people know it has the ability to swap ammo, making it very, very consistent. Shots. Noodles they are just sending it on teams, taking these fights left and right. 4 squads left, and they may have screwed themselves over. The zone is crushing in on them. Sir Willie is down. Vibe is the last one alive with this R99. He's going to try and make it in this building to try and hide from these other teams. But Sir Vibe Noodle is making a possible blunder for this first place finish that they had with a very good... They had red armor. They were set pretty well, but now it's all under Vibe. That being said, the other teams are pushing each other. Vibe has a chance to possibly third-party win here. I believe 2 are down. Art is the only one alive. Art dies. Last one out was Vibe. He gets at least 2nd place. They know where he is. And Unfortunately, I don't have much confidence in him being able to win a 1v3 against 2 red armors and a purple, but I've seen some more hysterical things happen. UWIO is a champion, as you saw there. Pretty simple. University of Wyoming is what I have been doing. That is some good plays, possibly some blunders coming out of Sir Vibe Noodles, that team. That push seemed maybe a little unnecessary, but we'll see. Let's see how many kill points they got for that game and see how much that was worth it. They did get second place and first place in the last team, so they are pretty set well when it comes to points. So we'll see how this is played out. University of Wyoming coming out with 10 kills. Survive Noodles also coming out with 11. UHM pretty high up there as well. Some pretty kills are almost in every team, except for the unfortunate souls who got collapsed on early, but pretty interesting. Nades Nation was one that we were looking at there quite there. They did get several kills, unfortunately not making it to breaking the top 5. And I think we're going to get into this next game and set up this next lobby.
Sorry, I was thinking about your question, and then I forgot what your question was.
I was, oh, jeez, we are two forgetful people. I asked, how do you think the games are going so far? I mean, you're rooting for OSU White. It's pretty obvious that way, and unfortunately, it seems like they've been pretty unlucky in the sense that they've been taken out pretty early.
So far, watching all these teams, they've all been running Gibby and seeing people play Caustic. Gosh, I almost forgot his name. Caustic, and then sitting in buildings, playing around Caustic traps and all that. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, we got another Rampart coming out here. I want to see it work, even though I feel like it's not going to. But yeah, follow up on that. Caustic is a pretty, since his buffs, he's been pretty good. There was a point in time where Caustic actually did more against your own team than it did the enemy team, which is pretty not fun. Looks like we're gonna have a lot, 2 teams on Lava City. I think they're separated currently by the big Maud. Maud. No one going to Geyser. It's a little surprising. Yeah, fighting right off drop in Fragment East, I believe. And it looks like Overlook is not going to be contested this time. Holy cash. Zenigma is currently fighting straight off the bat. Looks like they're going to be trying to pull out and not take this fight. Pretty smart. Good heads-up play trying to not take this. But it looks like they're going to be chased down. Good shots. The Gibby Dome comes down just in time. But they can chase this fight down. They don't got to go too far. Massive coming out here on the bottom by Flexenbra. He's going to fly straight into some shots with his Caustic, though. Providing some covering fire. Aggressive Gibby Dome. Gibby gets downed. Team 9 coming out here with some good shots. That's Team Noodles. Just forgot to say him in range. Good shots. That being said, this gas was doing a lot of damage in this fight. So it really is going to get picked up, and I don't believe there were any teams nearby for a third party. But that is some 3 KP to Vibe, Noodles, and Sir Willy. That is some very nice early KP, and unfortunate early drop before the zone has even started to close. Rampart team sitting out here on the tracks of the formerly known train. What Rampart does is she can deploy these covers that amplify damage when shot through and block when being shot on the other side. It works for every piece of damage. I don't know if it works for grenades. I don't think I've ever done that. But the amplified damage is nothing to snuff about, and it allows you to peek freely. It does the same thing that Gibraltar's arm shield does when it allows for people to peek. So if you can make it to late game, it allows you to get your shields up pretty quickly and not have to really worry about you running out of shields. The only downside is they are destructible, and that's a huge reason why people will usually, when as soon as they see you deploying it, just spam it to try and break it before it gets the shield up, which is a pretty common tactic. Or throw grenades, because you can't really, if you're standing behind the shield, you can't really dodge the grenade, and it's pretty obvious where you're gonna be. He said it looks like we're gonna have some people rotating into each other here quite soon. CSM Apex, currently just vibing in lava here, or not lava. I forget what this place is called, but pretty easy stuff, pretty slow stuff, usually at the beginning of every game, especially in these competitive lobbies. Survey camp here. A lot of slow play. People don't really want to take fights super early because of the problem. Because you don't really get much of anything unless you can guarantee the kills. So a lot of poking and then full sending if need be. But it's kind of hard for teams to fight like as a typical solo queue, like just pushing everything and trying to fight. That being said, OSU is sitting here in survey camp. Looks like they're kind of just sitting around waiting. MST sitting on 2 purples and a fully kitted Sentinel on the hands of the Gibraltar. Micro drones are going to detect them. Not much else going to happen. Sentinel is bolt action, so it does provide a hit of damage, and it does have a lower bullet drop than most of the sniper rifles. The added benefit is if you can somehow have enough cells to be able to sacrifice 2, you can overcharge it to cause it to do more damage and have less bullet drop. Does a pretty decent amount of damage. That being said, the triple take currently does more damage per shot on average than the Sentinel, which is a problem that kind of happens with the sniper rifles in this game. The charge rifle has its usefulness in the sense that it's really easy to hit, but it does burn through ammo. Sentinel does have its usefulness, but unfortunately it's...
Oh no,
That is,
the Ash misses its tactical ability.
That is a sad day if I'm there. Yeah, the armor in these two teams. I think if a singular break comes out, well, actually,
Ooh, you can see a team far back rotating into the city.
think they're going to decide to just walk away from that and not have to worry. But
Sorry.
MST isn't in zone right now. Good shots coming out from the wingman here. That is a gnarly head glitch from Dragonite. That's not something I have seen much of at all. Ooh, huge crack. There are currently 5 teams here. That is ridiculous. They are all hearing this fighting, but not a singular down. Good shot onto Cyber, though. I think that was a wingman headshot from that far away. That's pretty good. Valkyrie rockets coming out on this HCC team. Looks like they're trying to back away. Just on the back of Skyhook. Looks like they're trying to peel away, possibly get some favored positioning, and keep this team from pushing up. Gibraltar ult was dropped. It looks like a sentinel shot from across the map actually takes out the ramparts. That is unfortunate. Now back to a 2-man squad here for CSM, and I don't believe they're going to even be able to get the banner. So it's going to be a permanent 2-man squad. A gold mag on the 30-30 here. For the side of HCC. Rockets being sent out by the CSM, the bench warmers, sitting here getting ready to possibly hold out these two teams that were playing up. Depending on where this zone goes, it might cause interesting. This is a far pull from the skyhook fighting that we've been seeing. Yeah. Sir Bart and Blue and Sir Vibe Noodles are exchanging shots here in Fragment East, though it appears that they are going to be rotating out, not really trying to take a fight here while they're not really in zone. No real reason to, but possibly just farming up some shields. I believe Bart and Blue has a pretty either keen eye or ear to figure out that there's a team actually in that building that they pinged. Very good to know where these people are. Oh, I thought they were sitting on that ledge. There, GCU is full sending this team. R99 shots coming out to instant down Rui. Actually gonna use the ults to send themselves back up to the high ground. I don't think they got the down. I don't believe they got the thirst. They did not. They only detect 2. Was he self-resing? He is. Looks like they're going to try and go for this kill. No, they just didn't ping one of the reses. Rui's down, throwing the thermite grenade. Getting a lot of damage off. GCU is going to be full sending this one person. That is a quick game ruin of MST. Very weird ult on the side of Cyber there. Possibly they were just hoping to get a little bit of damage or a down. Looks like they're running right in. I think that is their squad. No, yes, that is their squad. Fighting over an epicenter. This is an interesting zone. Overlook currently has 2 teams. Fragment East sitting around 3. I believe there's one team rotating all the way from Harvester. This is an interesting zone. We've had 4 games now where we've had zones that have all over the map. Which is very, very nice to play. Climatizer being one of the newer adds to the map, featuring 2 gondolas that swap back and forth. I consider them death traps. Every time I get on those things, there's caustic gas and I just get nuked. And it's ridiculous. It looks like we've got Sir Vibe Noodles. They're going to be rotating away and actually possibly looking for this climatizer. Or they're going to actually try and go for the center here on this epicenter. Try to get that high ground advantage without causing any real problems. UHM are going to decide to take an edge and play this little bunker. Play a little safe. They're looking a little weird on armor. RIT is also sitting in a building, looking pretty decent on armor. Buckeye Gaming has actually lost their Loba. That is a lot of utility, but they have gained a Spitfire. Loba being gone means, unfortunately for them, they do not have the ability to just grab armor, grab meds, grab ammo. So they're going to be playing pretty safe when it comes to these later circles, hopefully trying to at least third party or get some kill participation. A lot of snipers and marksman rifles are pretty popular in these opening stages of the game, allowing for these easy poke and not necessarily having to worry about getting full scent as long as you're attacking someone from far away. Appaloosa and Julian are sitting 2-man in this building. Toki and Indy got lit up, I believe, on the Valkyrie rotation that they did. They have taken a lot of damage, and unfortunately, they are in probably a worse spot than they were before. RIT Brown is actually going to send the scan and see this. They're going to go for the full commit onto this Valkyrie, who is currently alone because their teammate did not drop with them. Full sending it onto the Valkyrie. Gets the kill. They're going to know there's one more alive, but they don't know where they are. I think they heard them drop. They're going to go underneath. Nades being thrown for the third party here, but they don't know necessarily. The third party is coming out, but they're not pushing inside the building. They're actually chasing, I believe, the now rat. May have just left him alone for now. You can actually see the Valkyrie and Gibraltar sitting on top of each other, not knowing where each other are. Looks like they're just going to back off and not try and take any fights. GCU using the power of Ash to clear an entire gap with no absolute issue. So they do got a while to go. We got some fighting coming out here from Team 5. Nebula, I believe. Nebula's team.
UWYO.
Yeah, this is Wyoming. Okay. RIT actually get downed. Twilight gets downed, and it appears that they're just gonna, I believe, ult away. Lord Kage goes down. I believe that's just gonna be now a rat on this side of the team, trying to leave. Trying to live, try to stay alive, get those points. Every point matters now. 14 squad left, zone 3. And holy cow, GCU has a lot. I think they just sent it in there and got a lot of kills against Allure and Joe Mama. Bots are us sitting with a pretty healthy amount of armor. Straight mid zone with 4 shots and a triple take. 1 shot and a triple take. Almost.
Might be something good this way.
Depending on when the zone pulls, this could be a very favorable position for Bots R Us. They've got some pretty hype, but it looks like they might be trying to move away. Barton Blue using the bubble Valkyrie ult to make sure that they can get out. They actually might spot the solo player. Are they following another team with a Valkyrie ult? No, it appears they're trying to get a different area. A lot of teams going to be converging up on this southern area. A lot of people trying to get to this high edge God spot area. Cyber is... The CSM benchwarmers flew all the way up and are going to run right into a team sitting in the building that they were trying to go to. Looks like they might try to play underneath. That might be a little dangerous, considering the number of teams that they have definitely pinged on their way here. Looks like they're going to just fall back. Get some information that there is another team behind them as well. I'll fall back just to prevent some... Ooh, Pickle getting lasered. RIT taking a lot of damage. Valk Rock is actually down, Pickle. Souza is the last man standing. This team, it looks like the third party might actually save... No, it looks like a fourth party is going to finish the kills. Team 9 coming in. Noodles. Noodles and Sir Willie finishing up that squad. They have 1 down. Maybe another third party will be coming in. Bots R Us are actually pushing. The Prowler coming out with the burst fire. That being a more recent change. They're actually... There are so many teams. There are 4 teams converging on this area. It appears that there might be rats trying to make their way away, keep themselves from being seen playing this edge on the right side of your map. One team's actually already claimed one of the buildings in the northern side of the zone. Looks like Sir Willie and Noodles have made it to that. Gibraltar ult actually doing a lot of damage to the CSM benchwarmers here. Looks like he believed he did not need it. He's playing pretty far from his teammates. His teammates are actually getting downed by a different team, and meanwhile, he's dropping an ult at his feet trying to survive. That is a really good use of a Valkyrie ult to get out of a really bad situation, getting pinched by 2 teams, one of them being a solo, unfortunately for him. But looks like they're trying to ping to try and get this other building. Gracidia from OSU White. They are trying to stay alive. WSU regulators getting the reses off, but getting pushed by another team. They actually get the kill. Oh, it appears that Gracidia tried to go for kills there. Almost got it, and a singular nade from GCU just killed an entire squad. That was so low HP. That is unfortunate. UHM actually has a mobile respawn, dropping it, and they might be trying to go for the res onto their Bloodhound here. They're probably going to drop the Gibby shield and try and secure this. This is a heads-up play from UHM. They have so many boxes around. Being able to get this res off would be great. Let's hope that this does not drop and get instantly shot out of the air. There are a lot of teams looking at this area. You see off in the distance, Souza goes down. Last of his squad unfortunately dies. Doesn't bring anything home with him. 4 squads left.
Let's explore this way.
Let's see how this plays out. Let's see. The zone pulls right into the open. There are some rocks that can be used as cover, but I believe there are 3 teams looking up at this hill. Meanwhile, there is 1 looking down, if I am not mistaken. Which is going to be a massive advantage. Wraith Portal coming out from Art here, trying to get closer to the zone, taking some damage. They actually spot a team rotating in. Ooh, whiffs coming out. Shots, though, being fired from both teams. Nothing resulting in a down yet. Fight. Barton Blue actually pushing up to try and get some more meds and other util from these boxes that have been dropped. GCU currently playing with some high ground here. Bots are us having the supreme advantage of the height there. Crypto drone dropping the bubble, allowing for some free shots. Nades being dropped. A potential, I believe that was a flank from GCU to push them off the high ground, dealing a lot of damage, potentially going for the finish. Devotion being dropped here. Oh my goodness gracious, he just misses. Bots are us sitting with 1 person alive, drops dead. GCU, 1 up, 1 low. UHM going for the kills. This is the last squad's up. Alternator in hand from Geo. Pushing up on a double flank. Still trying to figure out where they are. They see that. Hip fire from the Spitfire. Good damage going off. Unfortunately, it looks like Panda. Oh, so close. Unfortunately, does not clutch the 1v2 situation. But that's going to be a quick game. That was probably one of our quicker ones. There you have it, folks. You're champions. We're going to take a look at the scoreboard and see how that all planned out. I lost track of Sir Noodles and them. I'm not entirely sure where they went. We will see where they placed. It may have died on rotation. It appears, yes, Sir Willie and Noodles actually dropped into 8th there. A first, then second performance dropping to 8th. That's a little unfortunate. UHM actually coming out with a star-studded 10 kills and first place. GCU, holy cow, that is amazing. 9 kills on just GCU alone for a total of 16 in second place. That is a lot. Looks like OSU actually made it to 9th place this time. And then I believe though that is a lot of kills on a singular team. That is a lot of points. All right. We are in the 5th game. Unfortunately, this is not a full lobby. One of our teams had to drop out. So we are going to have to run this game with 1 down. The good news, at least for the other teams, that means this is 1 less team they have to contend with. which is very nice. Even that one team advantage is just a good boost to the vibes of a team. At least when I see it. When I see a champion squad that only has 2 people on it, either because a visual bug or something, it makes me feel better. Even though I end up probably just getting wrecked by them anyways. But it does make me feel better. Seeing a Watson instead of the Rampart this time from the Team 14. That's interesting.
Watson did get buffed this season.
She did get buffed. Not enough to make her as strong as she used to be. Yeah, I have been told by production that they've made her butt bigger, which is, I mean, maybe she just been putting on a little bit of calories. That's okay. Let's all be fair. During quarantine, we probably gained a little weight. The Legends had to quarantine also. I'm surprised that they didn't just put face masks on every character. Well, except for Caustic. I guess he doesn't really need it. They should have just released a mode where Caustic was completely ineffective. Like, they just couldn't do anything because everyone was wearing a mask. That'd be hilarious. I don't think it would have been done, but... Looks like, again, a team's landing in the big Moe mod. I'm gonna call it Moe. It sounds fun. But mod. And staging. Yeah, staging currently being... Oh my goodness gracious. Looks like fights going down in staging right now. One's already down. RIT. Oh my goodness. The close quarters charge rifle. Believe it or not, the charge rifle in Titanfall 2 was used to melt Titans. Oh, both RITs fighting each other. That is unfortunate. But, looks like they both each have one... Well, actually, no. RIT was able to get their teammate up. Well, I can't say RIT. This is a Black got both of their teammates up. Good shots coming out. RIT Brown has their Bloodhound just running the frick away. But back to what I was saying, the charge rifle originally in... Some tactical crouching going on. Did they eliminate their other UHM team? They did. That is what happens. Here comes the teabag. Okay. But anyways, the charge rifle in original Titanfall lore is a precision anti-Titan rifle that was used to melt through the hull of a Titan, which is somewhere between the armor of a tank and the armor of a building. And yet, for some reason, it does 3 damage to the head in this game. A literal laser beam. But oh well, you gotta balance the game somehow. That being said, it looks like the LMU Lions are gonna be trying to contest the team here. I was hoping for a little bit of action there, but it looks like they're kind of just staring at each other. Allure has purple armor. Meanwhile, it looks like the entire... Ooh, good shots. Making there. Huge shots coming out from Allure. Getting one down. Allure does have no armor now. He's going to go for the thirst. Guarantee those KP points. Another down onto Corrupted. NBN is actually going to come in for the trade down. Good shots. Lenut is gonna try for the clutch and unfortunately gets killed by Joe Mama. That's unfortunate. That is interesting. They are now almost completely alone on this side of the map when it comes to anyone being anywhere near. They actually are going to be in zone too, having everyone else rotate into them. Another zone that is on the another random place on the map. That is all 5 games. I don't think we've gotten anywhere close to repeating zones, which is really cool. Provides some very good experience for the players here. GCU Black is going to be making their way through Skyhook. I believe there's one other team in Skyhook, maybe another one rotating towards. HCC is one of those teams in Skyhook. Throwing nades at, I believe, another team inside of the building I'm looking at. 55 with that longbow. The iron sights on the longbow almost as atrocious as anything I've ever seen. But, you know what? It's a sniper rifle. Still, surprisingly, that the wingman hits harder than a sniper rifle. Heck, I'm pretty sure you could dome someone with a P2020 before a longbow can kill you. Looks like is that 4 teams in Skyhook right now, as the zone is starting to try and push them out? That is atrocious. People should be leaving. Ooh, good shot from the iron sight longbow there. Actually, I think that cracked. Possibly. They are really just sitting on this team right now. HCC is confident. It looks like they're going to try and go for this play. Meanwhile, UHM fighting, getting at least one down here with the rampage. Climbing up on the barrel. Ooh, good shots from both teams. Dome being dropped. They're actually going to be able to knock him down, get the thirst too. Bloodhound is actually sliding in on them. The bubble is not enough to... The melees! They are... Who needs bullets when you've got fists? By the way, fists have 25 less damage than the longbow. I'm just saying. RT Black just let them, I guess, heal up and run away. I don't know if they didn't see them or they were trying to figure out where the last guy was, but this is an amped Sentinel. This was 2 cells sacrificed for probably 1 shot that landed. Midair. Hit the scope! Oh, I thought... No, it looked like he did. It didn't. That was definitely a no-reg, but... I mean, that would have been cool. That would be cool if it was a Kraber. Let's be honest, everything is cool with the Kraber. It's like they're just gonna let them heal. Actually, they're back on the other side of the map. SJSU currently just sitting in the zone. A lot of teams rotating to this, what I love to call the streamer building, because back when this area was first released, everyone landed on that building. No idea why. Had terrible loot. It's just everyone landed on it. Every game. I contribute that to the fact that streamers landed there once. And Ashhold coming for the rotate. Another Sentinel. This is multiple Sentinels in this game. And longbows. Wow. HCC really liking their sniper rifles. Some good shots coming out with this iron sight longbow. Oh my goodness gracious. That's an Evo on the iron sight longbow to the purple armor.
Energy ammo here.
Good shots. Buckeye Gaming looking like they are sitting pretty for now, but it looks like CSM might be trying to push this. Can't quite climb there. Those are some stairs. What is... Bubble's really early. Don't believe there was a Gibraltar ult down either. Okay, Gaming gonna sit inside this building. CSM, I think, are just gonna think the better of it and decide to just ult and run away. Well, I think that ult really did much. I think he ulted behind them. Being said, okay, gonna still play slow. They're not gonna really want to push anything, just in case there was another team, SJSU, actually able to make their way out of this tunnel. I believe there's another squad behind them. There you can see the nerfed seer heartbeat. Believe it or not, it was almost double the range that it was currently on a passive. Let's just talk about game design there for a second. I was about to say, if they charge up that PK shot and try and get for those shots with Too Fat, Too Furious playing the Gibraltar,
Damn that fight.
they are staring at those people like an ex-girlfriend you see at the mall.
Crazy fighting Big Marty.
That is insane. Anyways, SJSU does have a team behind them that I'm not sure how they got past without at least being shot. That was the Seer team that we saw behind. So Enigma is sitting in this area trying to figure out where this other two teammates are. I believe they were actually able to pick out Doja Bear without the support from the rest of Bots R Us. And I'm surprised they're not trying to go for the banner recovery. They may be trying... Oh, here it goes. Banner recovery. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, MST Gold is currently trying to fight someone who's camping inside this building. I believe Barton Blue sitting inside this building. Both doors being broken. Unfortunately, they can... Windows work both ways, so they know where each other are. I think they're just going to sit on this, trying to wait till they figure out what the next zone is. Actually, MST knows where the next zone is, and yet they're still trying to sit on this building. Might be a little bit too aggressive. The Re-45 on the side of Baylor Bear. A severely underrated gun, but still a pistol. JSU is actually going to start sending and grappling into another team. GCU might get down by the storm, at least this leg. Oh, he was so close there, only a couple ticks away. Looks like the ult's gonna come out, try and rotate them away. Too Fat, Too Furious, and SJSU getting the first rotates, trying to make it all the way in. Still getting shot in the back, though. They're probably gonna have to stop to heal, because this zone is coming, and it is coming fast. They are close to the zone, but they are running into a team who's actually, I believe, trying to zone keep. May from OSU is currently alone. Last one in their squad. RIT Black still filled. MST still sitting on top of this building. With the Spitfire in hand. Bots R Us were able to get Dojo Bear with the, I believe, crypto drone. HUC taking some shots at nothing that we can see, obviously. This zone is definitely lending to a lot of poking. SJSU, oh my goodness gracious. Too Fat, Too Furious, 1 HP. Whiff, 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 whiff. SJU falls, unfortunately. CSM Benchwarmers getting the claim and the res. That is unfortunate. MST looked like they went for a little bit of an engage there, but I don't think it amounted to anything. Kind of just staring at each other. They did hear the firing, so they might be looking over to that direction. Looking like they're going for this... Well, I thought they were going to go for that beacon, but... maybe not. Very wary about this team that's underneath them. Though they can see now that they are rotating out from underneath them. They might try and go for a push here. Oh no, Octane, I believe, missed the jump onto the gondola. So he's currently alone, getting shot, and does go down. That is unfortunate. That train ride was missed. The Valk ult actually being covered by the Bangalore. Yeah. Bangalore ult used to cover one of them. Barton Blue decided that it's best to just leave and try and reposition. I don't believe they see anybody as of right now. Oh my goodness gracious. Reese Daff with some amazing shots with the car there. Ooh. Oh, the bat gets off. But it's not enough. He still goes down. It's Enigma. Oh my gosh. And the third party, here it comes. Oh no. This is unfortunate. Wyoming goes on. Wyoming goes down again. Button Belly and Barton Blue putting some pressure in there. CSM Benchwarmer actually able to get this loot. Currently, GCU is sitting on the edge of this wall. Maybe trying to go for a rotate through. Buckeye Gaming still alive, sitting inside this building. Wow. I have been notified that Buckeye Button Belly shot them from across the map to get that third party. To steal the KP. That is beautiful play right there. They obviously know that there are two other teams around them. Which with this Loba ult is actually quite good for them that they have this, so that they can just constantly get ammo and keep poking. MST looking to try and posture for one of these buildings and then slow rotate in on this fourth zone. Interesting thing about Valkyrie in these specific zones over here on this side is those domes that are carved out of the map. There are spots that you can actually sit on them for extended periods of time before you have to leave, or you just get pushed off. It does allow for some interesting rotating and interesting pathing. But I don't think anyone's going to be trying to abuse that here. That being said, it looks like several teams might be trying to go for this Maud area. I just don't know how to talk. Too much languages. An early bubble comes out from HCC. I don't think they know that there's another team that could be walking up behind them right now. Actually, they're looking right now. RIT able to get into this corner. I have no idea if they're actually in. I believe they are. Looks like GCU might be trying to play underneath of them as well. They slow walked in, sitting on all blue armors. HCC, apparently Caustic goes down from the team behind. They take one of these sides of these domes. The site is actually blocking the people up top. Romeo unfortunately didn't get to see those two. 3 people up there. The unscoped longbow, but the 2 times on the 1x2 on the car. I would have swapped that over by now just to get the extra vision. Oh, there it goes. Hey, look, you heard me. Or she, I don't know. Huge fighting over here on the mode. Maud. I'm gonna call it Maud. Whatever. I think this is 3 different teams? I want to say it's 3 different teams. People are dropping from GCU on the other side though. Huge fights. Shots coming out from everywhere. Looks like a seer and defensive bombardment actually cleans up Lord Kage and their squad. HCC looking pretty good. They did. GCU fell. That is unfortunate. Only 105 rounds left in the Spitfire from MST. RIT currently ratting it out with the Octane. With the HCC. Most definitely can gatekeep. Depending on what happens here. Oh, he has a bounce pad. It might be possible for him to land on top of one of these things, but with the recent nerfs to the bounce, I think it was height and length of the Octane, it made it a little bit. MST going for the Valk ult to try and get some information into land, I believe, on top of the dome, like I spoke of earlier. Does not, they aren't able to land on top of that one. I don't think either of the teams are able to actually convert and land on top. Umbilical cord being thrown out, nothing coming of it. Romeo is tethered, but really is not doing much anything else. Huge shot onto Bandit, unfortunately. Dome has to be popped. Running through zone. They currently see another team. They are pinched in between two. Two-man squad. They're going to get pushed by the Arc Stars, the grenades, the defensive bombardment. So many ults being dropped on this two-man squad, and I don't think... Romeo does go down. The others, they ran into the other squad, and who seems to be finishing out that squad. The solo Twilight goes down. 5 squads up. Buckeye Gaming looking pretty good right now. Popping meds, armor swapping, MST gold, doing the same thing. Benchwarmers down a player. Barts R Us down a player. Aren't able to get the res off since the beginning of the game, actually. Well, at least towards the beginning of the game. An ult coming out here with the crypto ult. Not really gonna do much of anything right now, at least. MST Gold sitting with one player. Went for the res, funnily enough. A lot of teams sitting around, playing slow, trying not to be that first team. Unfortunately, I don't think they knew that that was a solo, and I believe that was the person who was rezzed too, so I don't even know if they had anything. They were solo. They're now with their team. The 2v3 coming out. Huge shots. Cyber, unfortunately, having a big hitbox, just takes all of the shots from 3 individually. Bots R Us able to get their teammate back up, but a third party coming in on this side. Bunch of mastiff whiffs on the side of Buckeye Gaming. Unfortunate. 2v2. They gotta climb. They gotta go somewhere. Mastiff whiffs on the Valkyrie. Mastiff whiff again. If I'm learning anything, is that these teams don't know how to use a Mastiff. Car in hand, dropping down. Buckeye of 2 people up. Dojo dies to zone. So many people died in zone. CSM Benchwarmers win. One person clutched that round. That is amazing. Julian died to zone. That is ridiculous. We're going to take a look at the final score here, and then that is going to be our last game. We'll talk a little bit about it. And we will also release the standings after we get all the points. So you may want to tune in for a little bit after that. We will take a look. CSM bench warmers actually come out with 10 kills. Their bots are us with 4. Pretty decent game overall. Buckeye Gaming coming out with a solid 11 kills as well. And I believe RIT, yeah, they dropped down to 6. This is interesting. I have no idea where the standings are going to be. Sir Willie's team came in first, GCU, followed by Buckeye Gaming in EC's Euphoria. CSM Benchwarmers actually with that final performance land themselves in 5th. That's pretty damn good. Actually, these were all pretty close. Very tight midfield battle here for top 8. I believe if this was normal, I believe top 10 would advance to the next round depending on how there is. So RIT Black and Decay Grim would be just barely squeaking it in by 1 and 2 points. Which, yeah, Yogans is only down by 1 point. 8th through 10th were actually very highly contested here by 1 point each differential. That is insane. Well, congratulations to our winners of the scrim. Yeah. UHM, Lilac, being in would technically be in 16th because of kills. I'm being told. And that's it. Thank you all for participating in the scrims. I guess we will catch you guys in the next one.